Hi everyone, welcome back to our project analysis video, and I'm Elaine here together with Charissa. Today we're going to do our analysis on
Tengah Garden
Residences. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start straight into this analysis for Tengah Garden Residence. To begin with, we will start with our project information.
Yes.
We orientate you where's Tengah Garden, exactly the location. And then we're going to also identify the sweet spot as per what we have done in our previous video.
Yep.
To share with you how we identify the sweet spot in all the different developments. All right?
Correct. So next we will also be talking about the floor plan analysis as usual. But I think the first thing we want to also touch on is the 2-bedroom, whether is it worth buying. And in this area, 2-bedroom, would there be
demand?
Demand
for it. Yeah.
And also who will be my future buyers? I think these are a lot of burning questions in some of our buyers. So that's why today in this video we really want to address this as well.
Yeah.
And then of course the fourth point will be the supply and demand in the different bedroom types.
Yes.
Especially the 3 and 4 bedrooms.
Yeah. I'm sure there will be also people looking to buy into 3 and 4 bedroom for own stay. Yeah. And then how do you plan to exit later on?
Yes.
Okay, so that's for 3 and 4 bedroom. Alright, so as we are doing this video, actually the preview is already ongoing.
Yep.
But then it will be until 21st of April thereabout, and booking day is on the 25th of April. If you want to take a look at Tengah Garden, feel free to get in touch with us.
Yep.
Alright, or if you have any questions after you have seen our video, do feel free to also get in touch with us, and we will try our best to address your concern.
Yep. Or if you need more information on the floor plan, because I think last weekend it was packed with
it was very
the
crowded.
Showflat was packed.
Super
so
crowded.
I think a lot of buyers are this Showflat actually garnered a lot of interest from a lot of buyers because of the price point.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, so project information. This is the artist impression for Tengah Garden. We can see that over here, developer is 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐽𝐻𝐿𝐵𝐻 CSE into the project information. So what we are seeing is that we have 863 units. All right, and this is actually the address. The developer is, as per what we have mentioned, 𝐻𝐻𝐫𝐽𝐻𝐿𝐵𝐻.
Okay,
and we are sitting on a relatively big piece of land, 273 square feet. 273,000 square feet of land. All right, 99 years leasehold. Vacant possession is 2031, but expected TOP is going to be likely about 2030. Yeah. So 863 units. Something just to take note is that the parking lots is actually at 60% parking lots.
Oh, okay. Actually, which is not very surprising for this area, because number one, Tengah is a car-light area, and number two, if we are comparing with our surrounding developments like the ECs, right? Most of them are also about 50 to 60%.
50 to 60%.
So this is not of any surprise.
The surrounding ECs around us.
Correct.
So actually, because Tengah is car-light, so later on in terms of your exit, in terms of people coming to you as a resale buyer, right? When you compare everything, it's actually same 50 to 60% car park lots. Okay? All right, so this is a site plan. We want to orientate you a little bit. We can see this hospital over here. So before we go into that, right, this is the whole site plan. We can see that Hong Kong MRT station is just next to it. We are really just next to MRT station.
Yep.
Okay, so this is actually the access point to go over to Hong Kong.
This is the side gate, you mean? Like the side gate to get out to
the entrance to it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, just now as I mentioned, right, so this orientation will be a hospital, upcoming hospital on the master plan. Yeah. So I also Googled a bit. It's going to be something like the Sengkang Community Hospital.
Also quite a huge one, right?
It's on a relatively bigger scale. And I think this is because government wants to support the population over there. They are bringing in so many BTOs, so many developments, so many houses, housing. So they need the support over there. All right. And then something interesting is actually this part over here. Over here, there's actually going to be a man-made pond. Yeah. So that is also the reason why this block, right, is considered as a premium block, because you can see the colouring over here, right, is all the 4-bedroom.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are the waterfronting units. Actually, over here also can have some pockets view of the waterfront.
I think it's the whole thing, right? So later, I think on the next slide, we will actually show you on the location map how much actually it covers the man-made
waterfront facing. Pond facing.
Water pond facing. Okay, so I think next thing we need to also be sure is that Hong Kong MRT is about 8 to 10 stories, right? The developer mentioned,
correct. To clear the MRT yeah, because actually this is Hong Kong MRT is Jurong Regional Line.
Yes.
So it actually leads to Choa Chu Kang as well, and I stay there. So
yeah.
I actually see the track, right? The MRT track is really about that 5 to 6 story high. But I think what the developer is trying to say is that because we still have to factor in the MRT, and because it's above ground MRT track, nowadays all the above ground MRT track, they will have fence to cover up because it's to reduce the noise.
Yes.
So if you add that all in, right, I think it's going to be about 10 to 11 story in order to clear everything. Yeah. So that's the part to clear the MRT track. To clear the MRT track, MRT and the fence.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So the location, we mentioned that this is the man-made waterfront, right? Yeah. So there are some units over here that, of course, the units over here, which is a 4-bedroom, will be fronting the waterfront, right? And then, of course, there are pockets over here as well. Some of the units over here, they can actually see the waterfront as well. And then, like, there are also here, this side.
At the edge of the block, there will be some units that can also
see,
face
right?
the
But
pond.
I think later we will also touch on whether the MRT, that level, and then the track, and then how the facing will be like. Next will actually be the convenience of this location.
I would say that, because Tengah is a new township.
Yep.
So it is not like a mature. Actually, Tengah, right, if you look at the map over here, right, this is actually the Bukit Batok Road. So this part over here is actually Tengah, but we are actually just next to Bukit Batok.
Yes.
But the different thing is that Bukit Batok is a mature estate, so when you buy into Bukit Batok, you get everything, all the amenities are already there. So for Tengah, you don't see much except for HDB. Yeah. And in fact, a lot of the HDB has already gotten keys. Just that in terms of the amenities, there may be not so much yet.
They're still in the progress of building. The hospital is upcoming.
Correct.
Yeah. So like this of course, this development, we have this man-made waterfront as well. All these are all ongoing as well.
But in terms of the school, we still have got schools surrounding nearby, and the one that we know that is confirmed within 1 kilometer is actually Kranji Primary and also Pioneer Primary. ACS will be within 1 to 2 kilometer. Princess Elizabeth, I guess is going to be also 1 to 2 kilometers. Yeah, correct. Okay. And in fact, just to see the map again, right, we are actually very close to the JID.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So then again, Hongkar MRT station is the Jurong regional line that links to definitely Jurong East. So in terms of the potential for rental over here, right, just that because it's not yet. But I think in the longer run, right, I think there will be still good potential for tenants coming into this area.
Yeah, because actually just right over here, we already have the Jurong. We are surrounded by not only Bukit Batok, Jurong here is here as well. Actually our neighbours.
Yeah,
right,
we are
just
actually
right beside
nearer
us.
to the Jurong side for the whole of Tengah. Yeah. Okay, so that's where Tengah Garden is located. Next, we come to the unit mix, right? We have got 1 to 4 bedroom, but if you look at this, very interesting, 1 bedroom, there's only 6 units.
Yep.
Yeah, the starting price is from 980,000. It's probably going to step up on day one. But our focus will be more on the 2 to 3 bedrooms. So 2 bedroom is actually 337 units, comprises of 39%. So remember just now we were talking about the car park being 60%.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So this is also something that we also want to highlight to you is that because for 1 and 2 bedroom is already about 40%.
Yep.
Yeah. So we don't foresee that it's going to be a big issue for the 60% car park lots.
Yeah. So that means if you're so normally, right, the 3 and 4 bedrooms are the own sayers. So that's why they will drive. They will want to have. They will probably take the car park lots. So that means what we're trying to say here is that it will actually cover that. Okay.
And also, for all you know, because we're just next to MRT.
Yes.
So maybe if I really stay next to MRT, actually I also don't need to drive.
True.
Petrol expensive now. Okay, so we also want to come to this point is that how do we determine the sweet spots in a development? So why do we want to share on this sweet spot? Because very often we want to buy based on correct analysis, and we do not want to buy based on hype and based on emotions. That is why we want to be able to identify the sweet spot so that on the booking day, right, you will know that you have a very rational mind that, okay, these are the things that I know that is of the ideal range of units that I want to look into, unless I have a certain requirement, like I want to be like river facing, pond facing, then of course that one is more of our own individual preference. But we want to be able to identify the sweet spot. So before that, right, we always talk about the project USP, because in order to know which is correct unit, we need to know what are we buying into. the project USP.
Yeah, correct. So like last week we did Vela Bay. So Vela Bay, obviously the sweet spot or the USP will actually be the sea facing.
Yes.
Yeah, but for here, we do have the waterfront facing, which is a 4-bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the main thing will actually be, because this area is Tengah, upcoming, a lot of upgraders. This area will actually be, the USP will actually be the convenience.
The MRT station.
Yes. That means my children won't have to travel out to somewhere to take the MRT. The schools are nearby. These are the unique selling point of this project, I would say.
Yeah, because the mindset of an upgrader from ourselves also, right, the most important is be able to stay in a very convenient place.
Correct.
And then MRT definitely, in this case, it would definitely be the MRT. The convenience of, just now we forgot to mention. So in Tengah Garden Residences, right, on the first level, we also have got commercial shops.
Oh, okay.
So for commercial shops, it's about, at this moment, there's no confirmation on the number of shops, but we are looking at about 30 to 50 shops with mostly F&B. So again, it's the convenience. Going into the shops and then next to MRT station. So USP is definitely convenience next to MRT station.
So it's a little bit like a mixed deal.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So then next, we also need to identify the developer's pricing strategy. Then from these two, we will be able to know which are the sweet spot units.
Yes.
Okay. So next, because we already have the indicative price. All right. So from
very
here,
attractive, to be honest.
Very attractive.
1779 PSF. It's actually EC's pricing these days.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the surrounding EC, the Auto Place and Novo has already transacted up to 1,009 per square foot, highest transacted. Averagely, you also be looking at 1,000, 6,000.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so from here, because we already have the pricing, we can also see that this is actually the per square foot pricing.
So like for our previous video, we talked about this, right? So now I think if you have watched our previous videos, now one look, right, you should be able to know already how the developer actually price it.
Where are the loading?
Yes, correct.
So from here, we can see that, okay, 1 bedroom is for 2024, but 1 bedroom, there's only 6 units. Yeah.
Actually,
so
no point talking about it.
Our focus will be 2 bedroom. So for 2 bedroom, right, it's actually from 1,778, right? Then after that, 3 bedroom is 1,900-ish, close to 2,000. 4 bed is 2,000. So you can see as it goes bigger, the per square foot goes higher.
That means that their price loading is on the unit type.
So
the
for
first
sure,
one.
this is a tick.
Yes, correct.
So next then also, because we talk about the facing, although we don't, so we have the waterfront facing and we know that we have identified that the premium block, which is a 4 bedroom, are all over there. So definitely there will be certain premium on the facing.
Yes.
Yeah. So for this 4 bedroom, right, at 2024 per square foot, because for 1130, there's also internal facing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we're quite sure that for this 2024 per square foot is actually for the internal facing.
Yes.
So when it comes to the waterfront facing, there's going to be premium loading
as well. Yeah.
So this will also take number 2.
Yes.
Then for the price loading on per floor jump. So usually for Hong Leong development, typically they also have they definitely have a per floor jump difference.
Most developers have.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, right.
But it's more of whether there's going to be a big jump on specific levels.
But actually Hong Leong quite standard Hong Leong usually about 0.3 to 0.5 per floor jump. But I think this one we have to be a bit more careful because we like you mentioned that maybe they per certain floor levels above they might have a loading.
Yes, and especially as they mentioned that like a certain floor you should be able to clear the MRT track. Yep. So that is like the 10 to 11 floors. So very likely there's also going to be a heavier per floor jump at specific levels.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the pricing strategy. So now that we know that it actually will be adopting all 3, just that which one of a heavier weightage.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have identified the unique selling point for the project.
Yes.
We also have identified like the different kinds of pricing strategy. Right. Where is the sweet spot units? Where are the sweet spot units?
Yes, I think from this site plan, right, we should be able to it's actually quite telling already. This whole hospital facing, right, the units that are quite priced quite lowly.
Sensitively.
Yeah, correct.
Because they need to have a certain sweet spot pricing, certain attractive pricing to entice ourselves to be looking at this facing. Yeah. So that is probably one of it. Then the next thing is that multi-track.
Yep.
Okay.
So 8th floor, right?
Yes. So definitely there's bound to be certain noise level. All right. But remember, we also want to buy into the project USP, which is the convenience of closest to MRT station.
Yes.
And in fact, right, the shops are all here. Yeah, the shops
And this
are
is
here.
the only one road to get
Yes.
out to the MRT
Correct.
station also,
so
right?
this one, right? This is the only access from the whole development.
To get to the MRT
There's actually a
station.
link directly to MRT station.
Okay.
And the entrance to the commercial shops is also somewhere here.
Okay, so which means to say actually whichever blocks, right, you still have to come come here,
Yeah.
then you can get out, right?
Correct.
Ah,
To the
okay.
shops and to the direct link to MRT station. So meaning to say, right, the most convenience blocks will be over here. Here,
This,
here,
this.
here.
This is number one lah. Being the middle one will be number one, which is the closest to the entrance.
Yes.
This is number one.
The most convenience
And
blocks
then of course these two are, I would think this is two sweet spot lah, in terms of sweet spot, because here there are still units that you can still see the waterfront. So this
correct.
will be third.
Yeah.
I will feel.
Yeah. So because these 3 blocks, right, are the closest to MRT station, but
Yes.
because of the potential noise, it could also be priced more sensitively.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is why this is what we identify. Remember, the first thing is to be able to buy into the project USP, which is the convenience, and we have identified this is the 3 blocks, plus the fact that because of the potential noise level, so developer will also want to price it correctly.
Yep.
So this will be the one that you can actually be looking at.
Yes.
Yeah, for this Tengah Garden.
I mean, if we talk about the rest of the other units here, if we are looking at some units over here which are also priced sensitively, we also need to understand that we got no information on the hospital. Yeah, so we don't know when is it going to start building.
Oh yes, the construction
Correct.
of the hospital
So
itself.
if you are looking at units over here, then maybe when you moved in, they start building. The foundation starts to lay, and the noise level, the dust and everything. Is it something that you can accept? Is something that you might want to?
So this one have to take note lah, because we don't have any information
Correct.
on the TOP date for the hospital
Yes,
when the
correct.
construction is going to start. Okay. Right, so come next will be the floor plan analysis. First unit type will be the 1-bedroom analysis.
Which is 6 units only
It's
lah.
only 6 units, so we will not touch too much into it. But if you look at the layout, right, it's a
Decent.
normal
Yeah,
1-bedroom
decent,
layout.
yep.
Yeah, you come in, you have an open concept kitchen, and then you have it's a 1-bedroom unit. Okay,
Yep.
in fact, it's all the same for all the unit type. Okay,
Yes.
so next we come to the 2-bedroom analysis. This is the part that we want to emphasize a bit more.
Okay, this is the part that is most important. So if you are watching, please carry on to watch on. And if you are thinking of buying a 2-bedroom as a start into your property journey, as a new investors, I think this is something that is going to be very, very helpful, because we have done quite a bit of research of, is actually the 2-bedroom worth considering in this area? Who will be my future buyers, and what's the supply and demand like in this area? Then I will know whether, can I still exit or not in the future, right?
Correct.
First, we need to understand the difference in demand for 2-bedroom between new launch and resale. Because actually in a lot of new launches, right, we see that 2-bedrooms are all snapped up.
That's true. Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then because lower entry price or whatsoever reason, investors with limited budget, they want to get into a 2-bedroom for investment, right? Then after we move to resale, then we start selling. Then we sell until very chuan. Because why? Some units we can take about 6 months so even 1 year to sell.
For the 2-bedroom units,
Yes,
right?
correct. So why? So the reason is mainly because it's actually driven by more of own say buyers, or even like own say buyers that are looking for a 2-bedroom for stay. Yeah, not so much of a investment point of view already.
Yeah.
So but for new launch, it's a totally different mindset, because when they enter, I say that, I have this limited budget, I can only buy 2-bedroom.
Yeah. So that is the reason why we need to understand the mindset of buyers who are getting into new launch and resale.
Yeah.
Right? So just now, as you mentioned, in a new launch, today I have certain budget. I can only go for a 2-bedroom.
Yes.
And I know that I'm going to hold for 4 years. That's the reason why, if my budget allows, if everything fits in, I'll go for a 2-bedroom unit.
Yep.
Right? So my mindset is that I'm buying something for investment.
Yep.
Yeah. Then later on, when it comes to resale, so this is the challenging part, as what you have mentioned, right? Because resale environment, right? Buyers for own stay are more.
Yeah.
Because buyers who want to buy for investment in a resale environment is lesser.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the reason why in a resale environment for the bigger units, 3 and 4 bedroom, it's definitely easier to exit. because
more
you have,
applicable lah,
yes,
right?
you have a bigger pool of buyers buying for own stay ma.
Yep.
Yeah. But when it comes to buying for investment in a resale market, right, the target, the pool of buyers is definitely much lesser.
Yes.
That's the reason why the demand for 2-bedroom in a resale market is lower.
Yes. And also, I think supply is also very important.
Definitely.
If in that area, I am surrounded by a lot of projects that has a lot of 2 bedrooms. Then if I'm a buyer, I will definitely want to look at numbers.
Correct.
If let's say I'm an investor, I come in, I buy, I want to see, what's the rental yield,
Yes.
blah, 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 etc.
Correct.
Then next is, if I'm buying a 2 bedroom for stay, I also want to compare in that region, what are the...
I have choices.
Yes,
I have choices
correct.
to compare. So end day is also very applicable. The supply and demand is also very applicable to how we look at this whole thing.
So next, right, we will go into case study of different case study that shows supply and demand in different regions and areas to actually exactly show how 2-bedroom will perform in different locations when there's a lot of supply or when there's no supply, or how exactly it works.
How does it affect, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So the first case study that we're looking into is this one, which is actually at Charissa.
Yep.
All right. If you look at this, it's actually a few developments side by side in this region. Okay. So when we look at this, we want to use this palette as an example. Okay. Why is that so? Because if you look at the TOP date, right, palette is actually TOP 2015.
Yep.
Before 2015, right, there were little or no units of 1-bedroom.
Oh, only Livia, right?
Yes.
Only Livia in 2011.
2011, no 1-bedroom. And then we also have _𝐸 Residence, all right, 2013, there's only 27 units.
Okay.
So when palette TOP in 2015, I have got 50 units in the development. Okay.
So total 77 lah,
Yes,
in a way.
correct.
Okay.
But what's upcoming next is that after 2015, I see an influx of the supply of the 1-bedroom, which is in 2017, there's 158 units. 1 more year later, 2018, there are 133 units. So let us
137
now... 137 units. So now let's look at how palette 1-bedroom has performed. Okay, so if you look at this, right, because palette TOP in 2015 and most of the resale transaction took place in around 2017 to 2018, which is exactly when the Nest and Coco Palms TOP.
Yep.
And that's the timing that there's influx of additional supply of the 1-bedroom units. And then because of that, if we were to look at how it performed in terms of the 1-bedroom profitability, right, it's actually quite little lah.
Yeah, actually quite sad lah, $560.
Yes. So it's definitely on a lower side because for 1-bedroom, typically, if in a healthy transaction, we can see like probably 100 to 100-ish over 1,000 for a spread of 3 to 4 years.
Yes.
So for this one, right, unfortunately, because of the influx of new supply of 1-bedroom from the TOP date until like 1 to 2 years later, that's the reason why the performance of the 1-bedroom in palette is definitely not so healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm sure that if you are buyer that is watching this video, if you are in an area or you have bought something in an area that has a lot of competitors, you will definitely be facing a little bit harder to sell.
Competition.
Yes, because of the competition around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
It's just like this Charissa case study.
Exact same case as this lah.
Correct. Okay. So next we will be showing you another case study in Punggol, which will clearly show that now it performs or it moves in a different pattern.
When the supply is lower, how is the performance of the development?
Yes.
Okay. So for this one, right, it's actually we are looking at River Isle, all right, and then it is actually a private development, but it's surrounded by a lot of ECs.
And EC normally don't have 1-bedroom.
Don't have 1 and 2 bedroom.
Correct.
Right? So if you look at whole map over here, right, River Isle TOP in 2015, and in the condo itself, I only have got 15 units.
Palette also.
Oh yes, correct. Yeah. So 1-bedroom is only 15 units.
But if my surrounding has no 1-bedroom.
No, nothing. If you look at this, right, what we have indicated over here, it's only River Isle having a 1-bedroom unit. The rest of it minimally starting from 2-bedroom. Okay. So now next we know that there is no supply of 1-bedroom. So how did this perform then? So for River Isle, 1-bedroom, as per what you mentioned just now also, right? TOP around the same timing, right? And then look at the profit over here. Actually, it can profit even for a 1-bedroom.
Yeah, so actually profiting at 130, averagely about 130,000. I think it's actually
very healthy transaction.
Exactly. I think it's quite good already.
Yeah,
to be honest, for
Yes.
a 1 bedroom at 130,000, because it will help you to easier move on to the next one, right? Yeah, so I would think that the main key thing now is we're not only talking about the location, we want to know that in this surrounding or what we are buying into, is there supply issues? Or is there competition issues that we will be facing in the future?
So Andy, it is also coming back into the supply and the demand. Okay,
correct.
So this clearly shows that one case study is that very little supply, which is what happened to River Isle, and then we can see a good, healthy transaction. But in an environment whereby you have got a lot of competition, unfortunately, your transaction gets, because of the competition, because of the choices, you don't make such a good profit in a way. Okay?
So having said all this, right, will that apply to Tengah or not?
Exactly. So this is what we want to address the concern. Because if you have seen our earlier slide on Tengah indicative price for 2 bedroom, it is actually at a very attractive price. Remember you mentioned 1,007 plus per square foot. It is like an easy price.
Exactly.
Yeah. But now the concern is cheap or good price. Can I still buy into Tengah?
Yeah, and can I still exit in the future?
Yes, correct. If I want to be able to achieve like what River Isle has achieved, in a way, it's a very healthy transaction, right? So then we come back to this location because we have to look at the location and the surrounding. So for Tengah, we know that it's going to be 300 over units.
For the 2 bedroom?
Yep. Then we look at the surrounding. So what is the immediate competition will be 𝐵𝐵 Grand, right? Because we are the closest to 𝐵𝐵 Grand.
Which has only 11 units.
11 units.
Yeah. Lumina Grand has no 2 bedroom. Altura has no 2 bedroom. 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐻, which is further away from us. And by the time Tengah Garden COP, this will be slightly older
About
already.
10 over years already.
Correct. And then it has 132 units, yes. But if you look at another Novo Place and Auto Place, there is no 2 bedroom.
Correct.
So basically, our almost immediate will be 𝐵𝐵 Grand, which is 11 units. Yes.
So our immediate competitor is actually just ourselves, in a way.
Correct.
Yeah. So this will be actually looking at how developer has priced a 2 bedroom for Tengah. Actually, developer also do understand that the demand for 2 bedroom could be potentially lower. That is why the per square foot price is so attractive.
Yes.
Yeah. So this can be a window of opportunity for the buyers because you're buying into really easy price for a 2 bedroom unit, knowing that there isn't going to be much competition. Yeah. And 4 years later, when you are able to sell, actually there isn't any much of a supply competition. Yeah. So this will be to addressing the 2 bedroom units concern in Tengah area.
And having said that, right, 1.1 to get a 2 bedroom.
The indicative price.
Yes, it's almost like I think you barely can buy anything with 1.1. HDBs are already
even for the
transacting
resale for 2 bedroom, the resale prices are actually higher than this price range, this price point. Okay, and then now that we know that there is no supply, all right, or rather the competition is just within ourselves,
yes,
right? Would there be a demand for it? Because no supply, I know okay, but no supply doesn't mean that I can
sell in the future,
if there is no demand
in the future.
If there's no demand. So we also want to understand the demand for potentially 2 bedroom in this region. Okay, so what we did is that we went to gather numbers for the number of 3-room flats
in
BTO,
Tengah itself.
In Tengah itself, yes. So looking at this, right, for all this whole region, there's going to be, at this point of time, from what we know in terms of the information that we have, right, the total number of 3-room flats, right, is actually 1,290 units.
By the time we TOP, they are MOP already.
They can sell already because you see 2027, 2028, 2029. Yeah.
So these are like if let's say all of them wants to upgrade, means I have 1,290 people or families.
I don't have enough units for them.
Okay, but let's say for example, if there's only 20% of upgraders,
even if it's 20%,
yes, there's only which means to say it's 258 households that want to upgrade into a 2-bedroom condo.
Yeah. And why do we actually gather 3-room flats? The size and the configuration of the 3-room flat is actually very similar to a 2-bedroom unit.
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
So that's why we gathered this number Yeah. So but even then, if it's just 100 people from these 1,002 units wanting to upgrade, I think it's already good enough because of the 300 over units in Tengah doesn't mean that all the 300 units want to sell.
Yeah,
some of it could be potentially for rental as well.
So that means within the development, if I have 100 neighbours wants to sell, I still have these 100 over buyers that potentially looking at buying my unit.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so we know that supply is very little, the demand is actually there. So plus developer offering a very attractive pricing for 2-bedroom, I think is something that we can really consider for Tengah Garden.
Yeah, because most of the time, right, in a lot of our videos, we advocate or even we try to say that, hey, buy 3 to 4 bedrooms because especially in this location that is own stay, etc. But actually, we see that this window of opportunity for the 2-bedroom as well because of the pricing today. Yes. So if you are entering as a new investor or a new buyer, but trying to kickstart your property journey, I think this is a very good opportunity that you really can consider.
Yeah,
yes,
correct.
And we haven't even talked about the rental.
Yeah,
because
correct.
in this region we are so close to. Don't talk about the Bukit Batok side, right?
Yeah.
We talk about the
Jurong,
Jurong side, right?
If
it's just 2 stops, right, from Tengah Hongkah down to Jurong East. Yeah, it's only 2 stops. Yeah, so if we talk about in terms of GID, in terms of that location itself, I think it's highly supported with the hospital coming up as well. I think if you want, you can also contact any one of us. We can also share with you a little bit more.
Okay. So now we come into the layout, right? For the smallest unit is actually 2-bed 1 bath, 624 square feet.
Yes.
Okay, I think this is a very decent layout because,
of course,
for 2-bed 1 bath, you seldom have a tuck-away kitchen.
Plus is glass.
Yes, over here.
Right?
So it makes your kitchen very bright. So you come in, you have a tuck-aside kitchen, and then you have a dumbbell. We've seen the Showflat already. The sizes are very okay for the bedroom sizes. Yeah. So this is actually for 2-bed 1 bath. Right? So next we have 2-bed 2 bath, which is 657 and 667. Honestly speaking, I don't see too much of a difference between these two. Size is only a 10 square feet difference, but it's the facing difference. So for 657 is over here, it's actually facing the hospital. Yeah. Then for 667, right, you have more internal facing, pool facing. But in terms of the layout, it's very similar. You come in, you have a tuck-aside kitchen. Again, you have a glass panel over here, which makes your kitchen definitely will be brighter. Then you have 2 bedroom and 2 bathroom.
Yeah, proper dining area as well. Yeah, so that makes it a very livable layout, I would say.
Yes, correct. So we have put the star over here is because that, remember we are talking about the sweet spot, right? First of the one area of the sweet spot will be towards the exterior facing towards the hospital.
Yes.
So for this, right, it could potentially be definitely a more attractive pricing.
Yeah, because I think the 67, not only it's 10 square feet more, there are some facing, right, you are actually,
interior lah.
Correct. If you look here, right, it's actually facing the pool. So we feel that developer will...
A bit of premium. Yeah.
They will load a bit of premium
for the internal facing.
Correct.
Okay, so that's for 652 bed 2 bath, 657 and 667. Next, the biggest unit for 2 bedroom is actually 2 plus study at 753 square feet. For this one, is the internal facing, all right? And then, it's actually the same except additional study. Yeah. So for this, if you are looking more for own stay, then I would feel that this is something that you can look into. But if it's an investment point of view for 2 bedroom, just as you mentioned, the 2-bed 1 bath in terms of the layout is also something very nice to have.
Yes.
And most importantly, the price point.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's for 2 plus study. All right.
So,
commercial break.
Okay, so if you have more questions or you want to know more about what we have mentioned earlier on the price point, the rental, etc., you can always scan us, and then we will be happy to share with you more.
Okay. Right. Do contact us. And then next will be the 3-bedroom analysis. So just now we talk about 2-bedroom. Demand and supply.
Yeah, so we say that 2-bedroom really can buy. Yeah, so in this area, based on the price point, based on the entry price, etc., and possible rental yield, I think we really feel that 2-bedroom is really worth considering.
Correct.
All right. So, but now if we come to 3-bedroom, with again the supply and demand issues, is the 3-bedroom something that we should consider, or how are we going to time or plan our exit? I think this is extremely important.
Yeah. So that's the reason why, again, we have gathered the numbers to show you. We want to know who are our competitors, and then how do we exit? When do we exit?
Yes.
Okay. So over here, there is actually a list of EC. Now we listed out the ECs because our prices are very close to EC, right? And then also because all these are surrounding us.
Exactly.
So this will be our closest competition, right? So Coppin Grand definitely is one because what happened is that Coppin Grand has already TOP and they can actually sell, which is the MOP period 2030.
Oh, so same time, almost the same time as us.
Yeah, same timing as us in terms of the TOP date. But in any way, for buyers who are looking to buy Tengah Garden Residences, you buy this year, today, 2026, your seller stamp duty is also 4 years later.
Correct.
So it falls at this time, 2030. So the number of 3-bedroom, so we have gathered the number of 3-bedroom units, right, in all this development. Okay, so for Coppin Grand, yes, we do have a competition of 423 units.
Yep.
Yeah, because we're going to sell almost at the same timing. Okay, so next we also have Altura, Lumina Grand, Novo, Otto, and there is one more Senja Close EC. If I'm not wrong, the target launch is going to be end of this year.
Yep.
All right, if that's the case, the TOP date is going to be probably about 2031 plus 5 years of stay, so it'll be 2036. Yeah, so this one is a longer term. Right. But then we also know that from 2031 onwards to 2033, we have all these units who are our competitors.
1,200 plus. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you this question. Today, you are owner of a 3-bedroom unit in Tengah Garden Residences. Which is the best timing for you to exit?
Okay, so for Tengah Garden Residence, right, by the time you, let's say if you go to buy now, and by the time you can exit after the seller stamp duty, right?
4 years later?
Yeah, 4 years later, it should be around the same time as Coppin Grand. So Coppin Grand will be our direct competitor,
yes.
Right? Yeah, but should not go beyond this date because we will have another 180 units coming as a competitor towards us.
Right. For
right?
Altura?
Yes. Because if let's say, okay, even if Coppin Grand, not everyone sell maybe half of them, there's also about 200
units already.
units.
Yeah.
And then if let's say half of Altura people selling, that's 90, that will make up to about 300.
Not forgetting Lumina Grand is also at 2031.
Exactly.
Same timing.
So that means 1 month later, I will have another group of people. Let's say even half of them, that's 150.
A chunk of people coming into the resale market.
Correct.
Yes.
So that means if you want to sell your unit during this period of time, it's going to be it's going to take longer for sure because
not
buyers
that cannot lah.
Yeah,
but again, your choices take longer.
Correct. Because even you as a buyer, I want to view all the properties before I make my decision, right? So if I know all these, and they probably have agents advising them, I know all these MOP dates, right? Then I will probably want to view all of them before I make my decision of when or which development to go into. So in order to avoid all these competitions, I would want to sell.
The exit point
will be
when you hold 4 years.
TOP.
Just
Correct.
nice. Actually, it's just nice. You won't hit this timing. So
Correct.
you exit around here, this timing here. Yeah.
You will have about 6 to 9 months before the 2031. Yeah, correct.
But of course, this is having said that you really want to hold for 4 years, you want to cash out and maximize your profit. But if you're someone buying for own stay, of course, you don't be so stressed and pressured by all these MOP dates or competition because you are buying for own stay anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you can also let them go and do the transactions to bench up the pricing in this whole Tengah area.
Yeah,
So
correct.
that's it. That is for the longer term if you're buying for own stay.
Yeah, so that means to say, in short, sell by 2030 at the
This point here.
SSD period, after the SSP period. If not, if you're staying buy for own stay, then stay all the way lah.
Hold a longer term.
Correct.
Hold a longer
stay all
term
the
market
way.
here.
Then you move, and then we see how the prices move, and then we see how we want to exit by then.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's for the 3-bedroom. Okay. So we know that these are our supply coming into the market in Tengah, and then we also know the MOP date. But also don't be too worried about it.
Yes.
Because why? We have a good pool of demand.
Exactly.
Yeah. The demand for Tengah area could be very strong because of how government has actually planned in all the BTOs in this area.
Exactly.
So from this map, we can see that it's going to be a total of 20,000 units.
Yeah.
So again,
Close to 21,000 actually.
yeah. So again, we don't even say half of it.
Yep.
Actually, we just say a good 500 household from this area wanting to upgrade, right? It's already a very good demand.
Yeah, so it's
here.
like 10%, we're looking at 2,001. 20% is like 4,000 units.
And in fact, if I were to
families,
just zoom in, right, the top part, right, this Garden Vines and Garden Vale, they already MOP 2028. That's even before Tengah TOP. So if I just take 90 household from here, 90 household from here, I will have 180 household wanting to upgrade into the same vicinity already.
Exactly.
Yeah. So although we did mention that the best best timing to exit is 2030, all right? But then not to worry in terms of the demand because we have a good demand of the upgraders in this whole Tengah area.
Yeah. So the worst case is only if I have a lot of supply and I don't have demand
at all.
Then that is something that really we have to reconsider.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think looking at this is just really about timing your exit of when you want to exit at the best timing.
At the best timing to maximize lah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, so that is for the supply and demand for 3-bedroom, knowing the supply and demand for 3-bedroom. So next we come into the floor plan analysis, 3-bed, 2-bath. So the smallest unit for 3-bedroom is actually 797 square feet. And this is the one that kitchen don't have window. But the good thing is that your bathroom has got windows lah. So over here. So it is really
still quite decent.
The entry price,
yes.
the very attractive entry price of 1.588 million for this 3-bedroom unit. Okay. Then next we have 818 square feet and 829. All these three layouts are pretty much the same. They do not have any store or bomb shelter. It's just a conventional 3-bedroom unit with 2 baths. Okay.
Yeah, but this two has window, right?
Yes.
Yeah, only 797 don't have.
The kitchen. The kitchen has got window
right
over here. Yeah.
Okay.
So next then we have the 900 series, starting from smallest is 904 square feet, having a store over here. Then we have 969, 980. This from 969 onwards, right, instead of having a store, we have got bomb shelter.
Okay.
Yeah. But in terms of the layout orientation, okay, the main difference is actually the positioning of the kitchen. So if you look at 904, it's this way. Okay, the thing is that 904, because the store is here lah, so your kitchen may not have the most light ventilation because you don't have the window over, the glass over here, ma.
Yes.
For 969, it's actually okay. For 969, right, you also don't have any glass over here, and this could be a little bit of concern because it's longish. So and the window is only here. So over this part could be a little bit dark.
Yeah, but at least this 969 has the wash closet also.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
You have over here, and then you have
it's just that probably a bit darker lah in a way.
So similarly for 980, this should be also a wall, but this is a more squarish layout lah. Yeah, so that's why, like I say, the differences is more towards how the kitchen is positioned.
Placed. Okay.
So next we still have another one which is 990. This one is again more squarish, all right, but this is also a wall. Okay. Then next, after the 900 over series, we have the 1000 series, which is 1012. And then later on, we have 1023 and 1033.
Yep.
From 1012 onwards, right, this is where we start to have our yard, bomb shelter, and a very spacious master bedroom.
Oh, you have walk-in wardrobe.
Yes, because
like in a way, walk-in wardrobe, right?
Your wardrobe is tucked to one side, which means that this whole area is your bed and your dresser or your bedside table.
Oh, so it doesn't eat into the wardrobe, doesn't eat into the master
space
bedroom
over here, because
so the master bedroom
should
be quite huge, right?
The master bedroom is very spacious, So that's for the 1000 square feet and above. All right, so that's 1012, and then next we also have got 1023 and 1033. Okay, so same thing, we have got the master bedroom, wardrobe tucked one side.
Yep.
And then we have our yard, we have our bomb shelter, we have our wash closet over here. Yeah. And I have actually put a star for 1012 because of the facing. Okay, because this one, remember, this is actually the exterior facing.
Correct.
So potentially this could be a very sweet spot for this quantum.
In terms of pricing.
Yes, correct. Okay. Then next, I have also placed a star for 1033. Okay, what happened is that for 1023 and 1033, you don't see significant difference. Except
Only
for the
the
entrance,
entrance,
how it's positioned.
Yep.
But for 1023, right, is actually the interior facing. So there could be a chance that the price premium could be over here.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Correct.
for 1033,
You have
being
more
10 square
stacks.
feet bigger, right? But because we have got more stacks to choose from, so from here we can see what are the difference in terms of the prices.
Yep.
Okay, so that's for 3-bedroom, 1000 square feet and above.
So that means to say that if, let's say, we given a choice, if because 1023, there might be a premium in terms of developer might load a premium on this unit, you might want to consider looking at the 1033 as well.
Yes.
Because given that they have more stacks and then the facing is a bit.
Like example, this stack over here.
Yes.
Because
correct.
it's closer. If you look at 1023, right, is actually pool facing and the longest distance.
Correct.
So if I'm the developer, definitely I will place a premium over all these stacks over here.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we have to identify. Yes, we have to identify on the actual day where the prices are released. We will have to check this unit comparing with 1033 units facing over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you will be able to have a more informed decision of which unit to go for instead of just very fixated on just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be too fixated on the actual facing. Yeah. Okay, so last but not least, we come to the 4-bedroom analysis.
So next we'll be talking about the 4-bedroom unit types, 1130 square feet. So like we mentioned, right, the starting price is 2024
per square foot.
per square foot, right? So likely, it will be the internal facing units. Right, because this one is all facing each other, but likely the developer will also load a premium on this because it's the
exterior waterfront facing over here.
Correct. So this will be the loading part that we will feel. Okay, so we on the day itself, if you are looking at these facings, you might want to do some comparisons as well. Okay, so now we look at the layout. Pretty standard, right? With bomb shelter, wash closet.
Actually, if you look at this layout, comparing with the 3-bedroom premium, right, it's actually very similar. You look at how the kitchen is oriented, right?
Yes.
The yard and a bomb shelter and wash closet over here, the bomb shelter here, right?
Yeah.
It's just additional of 1 more bedroom.
Yes. But of course, this walkway also shorter, right?
Walkway shorter, this one shorter, shorter over here.
Then this one slightly longer. Slightly.
Okay, so that's for 1130. Next, we have another middle size, which is 1141.
Yep.
So again, 1141 and 1130 is how the kitchen is
placed.
Yeah. Okay, this one is like longish. Just now was portrait. And
I prefer this.
This one has got a longer foyer walkway. Yeah. So actually,
a bit more privacy also.
Correct.
Yeah, a bit
we
more
have also
privacy
start this layout 1141 for the reason that because right, firstly is the facing. Okay, so if you compare 1130, right, again just now as you mentioned, 1130 we have this waterfront facing, yeah. So if let's say waterfront facing and then versus the 1141, which is the interior facing, actually I don't mind to get the internal facing because I still get my pool view. Yeah. And then also plus another thing is that the foyer walkway is a little bit longer, which I think for bigger families sometimes they do require that for some shoe cabinets or a little bit more privacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, one last point is that here, right, is actually at the sweet spot of the MRT.
The blocks, right?
Yes. So
closest.
that means it's the closest to the MRT as well. So when we sell or when you sell in the future, then that is something that we can highlight to the buyers.
Correct. Okay, so that's why we actually start this 1141 layout. The last few layouts for 4-bedroom is 1259, 1249. Again, the main difference is the entrance because you see this is actually longer. And then this one is just coming straight into the living area. Yeah. But of course, it's the different facing as well. Okay.
Correct.
So if you look at the 1249, right, 1249 is definitely the premium facing.
Yes. Full waterfront.
Yes. And in fact, for this 1259, right, is internal facing.
But this one might get a little bit.
This unit maybe little bit
huh?
angle. Yeah. Actually here also lah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, compare first.
Yes.
Compare first between the full unblock and also the partial.
Partial.
Yeah,
Yes.
to know how much is the loading.
Yes.
And also because one is 1259, one is 1249. If the 1259 square feet one is the same price as the 1249,
Then
because
get
of
the water
loading.
facing. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is actually for the 1249 and 1259 because in terms of the layout is no difference except for the foyer area. Okay. So we have come to the end of our analysis for Tengah Garden Residences. We hope that you are cleared after watching our video, which are the units to go for, which are the sweet spot units, how developer will be pricing it, and I think more importantly is to really buy into the project USP because that is what your potential buyer is going to look at when they buy from you next time when you exit.
Correct. So, and also like the 2-bedroom, we mentioned that it's really worth entering at this price point. You might want to know about, nearby transactions and also whether, really why this price point is really worth entering.
Yes.
always come to us. We can do an analysis for you as well. Yeah. Okay. And if let's say we are looking at like rental, future rental, possible rental, because I think now for Tengah, the rental is not something that
We
is
don't have
so
any
known,
comparable transactions because it's a new township lah.
Exactly. So, but then of course we can also look at the macro numbers as well. Yeah. Okay. So once
That's
again,
all for Tengah Garden.
Yes. Once again, I'm Charissa.
I'm
and
Elaine.
We'll see you soon.
See you. Bye bye.